To Woody, Gina, Greg, and Menace.
What up? It's the Woody Show.
And the best alt tunes daily.
Every morning.
We're Alt 98.7.
LA's new alternative.
Portions of this program will be recorded.
I go close out of the Zoom app, and what do I see? I see my boss, still on camera, laying on the ground with his toes out. And there was a stranger, and she was rubbing peanut butter on him.
The Woody Show. It's another new hour. Insensitivity training for a politically correct world. It's Monday, brand new week, and a new month, March 3rd, 2025. Yeah, not Zoom, but Skype is going away. Did you see that?
Yeah.
No.
Really?
Yeah. My in-laws don't know what to do. I'm like, there's a billion other options.
You lost.
But they're so lost. Skype's the only thing they know.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like, well, how are we going to see the kids?
You won't.
Yeah.
Never again.
I'm Woody. That's Greg Gorey.
Morning, Wood.
There's Menace.
What is up?
Gina Grad, good morning to you.
Good morning.
There's Seabass.
That was my question 5 years ago. What the hell's this Zoom thing we're all doing now?
Yeah.
What happened to Skype?
Zoom.
I know.
Teams. I mean,
Teams.
there's FaceTime. There's plenty of other options. Sammy's here.
Morning.
Phones are open, 877-44-WOODY. You can send us a text over to 22987.
Cheers. That's bad. That's good.
So how was everybody's weekend? Weekend
Lovely.
cheers and jeers. We'll start with you, Menace.
Oh, damn. Okay, I got it. I even made a note about it. I just want to make sure I didn't forget something. But
Did I catch you unprepared?
No. I was just trying to pull up a screen. So I had a lovely meetup with a bunch of listeners, and it's awesome just to interact with them and how supportive they are of the show. That rules. And then I had some free time, so I binge watched a new show on Netflix. It's called Running Point. It's with Kate Hudson. It's about running a basketball team. It's a comedy. I really, really enjoyed it. It's pretty much like based around the owner of the Lakers.
Genie Bus.
Okay.
Yeah, I loved it. I hope it gets a season 2 because now I watched the whole season.
And what's it called?
It's called Running Point.
Running Point.
It's all about basketball. Love that. And now I think my only jeers is, we're busy for the next couple months, and I won't get to spend a lot of time with my dogs. My two
What do you
little
mean?
babies.
Aren't you home? You
Well,
go
we're
home
gonna
every
be
day, yeah?
Yeah, but we'll be gone on like weekends and stuff.
Oh, weekends?
Yeah.
This is pre-jeersing.
Yeah.
Front loading the jeers.
With my little baby.
I mean, don't you see the dogs every day when you get home?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
But weekend time is like when you get like
Quality time.
A lot of quality
where you can
time,
like throw the ball and
Yeah.
talk
play
around.
around.
Talk about girls.
Yeah,
and
go for ice cream.
how to shave.
Right.
Get more cuddles,
Oh,
Yeah, I'll bet.
so sweet.
So
Yeah. All right, Greg Gorey, weekend cheers and jeers.
Polar opposite of Menace, where he had to search for a jeer, and it was a pre-jeer. I have no cheer. Nothing but jeers this weekend.
no.
Sucked! What? I hated this weekend. I hope I forget this weekend. I got so sick, I could barely move. I couldn't get out of bed. I think I was in bed for about 97% of the weekend.
That was probably your crash.
It was.
Yeah.
I think so. It absolutely sucked.
Because when you get on a tear in life, right, like you're just going nonstop, when you finally stop, sometimes your body just lets go.
Right.
And all of a sudden, it just comes crashing.
Totally.
But my body lied to me. On Friday after work, I thought, okay, made it through. Nope. Went straight downhill.
That might
Got
have been the trigger.
ultra sick. And so the weekend absolutely sucked.
Did you have like a fever or like what was like?
I was
Like how did you
feverish.
feel sick?
And I took my temperature. I did not have an actual fever, but I just felt feverish, where you're weak, can barely walk, can barely move, achy, freezing cold, and then just crazy hot.
And no fever? That's
I mean,
what a
no,
fever
no
is.
temperature. Maybe I took my
Interesting.
temperature at the wrong time.
Did you do it rectally? Because that's the most accurate.
Right.
No,
Through the
I've got-
booty?
I got the fancy digital one and everything, so no fever. So the weekend sucked. My only cheers, I guess, is walking in here and Woody, your facial hair is on fire. It looks good.
It does
Thank
look very
you.
nice.
It's very well
I
shaped.
finally cleaned it up.
Yeah, it looks good. I'm jealous of good facial hair. Oh, and then cheers. I did have some ice cream this weekend for the
What kind?
Good for you.
salted caramel truffle, I think it was
Okay. All right.
called. All right,
Okay.
so there's a cheers. Ice cream and Woody's beard.
Together again at
But
last.
the weekend sucked.
All right. Gina Grad, weekend cheers and jeers.
Cheers. Took your advice, Woody, and got a babysitter for the kid. Went out for Mexican food with the husband. It was glorious. Just sitting there, we're like, we'll have more chips. We don't want to eat them. We just don't want to leave. We just want to stay right here.
And see, I've been trying to convince Gina of this. I don't understand the people who feel the need to do everything with their kids.
I know.
Like, you got to have that time to
Yeah, what a
yourself.
concept.
Like, even just to go to dinner and have some Mexican food and sit and eat bottomless chips.
Oh, God, it was so good.
And no big deal. And you're going to get to the point, which we are at this point. Like, if we're just going out to dinner, we don't need a sitter. Like, you leave the kids and then,
Yeah, put them on a leash.
Yeah,
Get a
now,
dog bowl.
Now, this hasn't been a long time that we've been in that world, only because, like, the kids, you have the one.
Right.
It's easier because, who are they going to fight with?
Yeah.
We were always like, oh, man, if we leave these two kids, because they constantly battle.
They'll kill each other.
And they start getting into screaming matches.
Yeah.
And the last thing you want, because the last thing that's going to make my evening good is my wife getting calls from the house. Well, he did this and she did that. And it's constantly now that's what's going to dominate your night out.
Right. Ugh.
Because you don't know what's going on in the house. We're going to be coming down to place burned down.
Yep. And that's the other thing. I said, we're
You're
talking.
in a great place. You're in a great. I'm so happy for you.
I am too. But we're talking, and the conversation starts sort of veering like to kids stuff. I was like, please, just 45 more minutes, please. Anything else? So that was fun. It was great.
That's good. It's a detox.
Really, really necessary. As it's like Greg. Like, we didn't realize until we went to dinner how sick we were.
Yeah. and I give Gina a lot of credit because she and her husband, they do a lot with the kids, way more than I would ever agree to do
We're like a
with
little
our own
traveling
kids.
band. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like oh, we're gonna go to the pumpkin patch, and then we're gonna go do this other kid thing, and then we're
Group
gonna do this other.
costumes.
Like, it's not just stuff that you are interested in doing; it's all stuff for the entertainment of a child.
It's almost never stuff we're interested in
all
doing.
day, every day, and you feel.
Are you saying she's an overscheduling helicopter parent?
No,
we
I'm
don't
not saying
schedule
that.
anything. We just go places.
I'm saying I don't see any balance in there whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like anything for themselves.
Yeah.
Which I was like, hey, and she's like, well, how do you do this? I said, it's called babysitters, Gina.
Yeah, and now we're like, I'm getting big time getting.
Oh, and
so
you find a couple that you like. Find one that's good for when you want to go out of town for a weekend.
Oh,
Yeah,
now we're talking.
We got a couple of those.
And if the kid doesn't mind, it's a win-win, right?
Yeah, dude.
Sure, he had fine time.
You guys are really selling parenthood.
Well, but that's the thing. Like, they love.
You need breaks.
You need breaks, and they love new meat. They love fresh blood, like babysitters. And, oh God,
and
they
they're
love
better
it.
behaved for those people than they are their own parents.
100%. So that ruled. Cheers. We gave it the old college try with this like parade of planets thing. Didn't happen. Light pollution. Couldn't make it work. Tried. Was so excited. Remember, it's like, they're all going to be in a row. And didn't see anything.
A telescope.
We tried, but we're not. We took it out back. We thought we were in like a dark, but we didn't know what we were doing.
no.
I saw it online. It saved me from going outside.
I forgot
That
about
would
it.
have been a better idea.
Yeah. Seabass weekend cheers and jeers.
Well, cheers to Taint McGray. Now, if you don't know who she is, I've been singing her
Taint.
praises for several
Taint.
years. Her name is Taint, as Menace says, McGray.
No.
She was the musical guest on Saturday Night Live, and she has brought back the era of the stripper singer. And I'm fully appreciative of that.
Haven't we been in that?
Yeah.
Well,
Did
here's
that go away?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It's like I never listened to one ounce of her music, but I've seen her gyrating at like the NHL halftime show and on SNL. I think this is like classic Britney Spears when she first came out. Like that era
she gets
of
a lot
like,
of comparisons.
right? Like the words don't matter. The music doesn't matter. Look at me gyrate,
check out
and
my bod.
do splits, and check out all the bras I'm wearing.
Is she pop?
Oh yeah, big time pop. But Taint McGray.
Check out my bra.
I've heard of Taint McGray.
Yeah, me too. Taint McGray.
She was on the musical guest on Saturday Night, which I usually skip. I usually skip the musical guest because it's usually boring and badly produced.
Well, what do you think with the as gyrating and stuff goes? Are you a fan?
Oh, she's doing like splits on these metal
Yeah.
chairs,
Okay.
standing one-legged
I'm
splits
saying,
above
do
her
you think
head.
is she an 8 or above? Does she meet your standards? My question.
Okay, here's the thing with Taint is she
And how old of a person is this?
she's what, mid-20s?
Okay.
Let's see.
Let's
Right.
see.
Good age.
Taint, how old is Taint?
Taint McGray.
21.
21,
Oh,
okay.
boy.
21.
Okay, you know what? She's getting there. Which is better than, the Britney Spears countdown. Or no, it wasn't the Britney Spears countdown people. It was the Olsen twins countdown people.
Oh, yeah.
I worked with a guy who had one of those calendars. That was
Ah.
He was well into his 40s at the time.
Wow.
Creepy.
Yeah, it's pop, whatever, but
Sure.
that's that. So good for her. Good for Taint.
So you would like her, Woody, because she is way into hockey. Like
She's
everything
Canadian,
that she
right?
does is. hockey theme. So she's a pop star you can get behind.
She's from Calgary. She dated, I think, a hockey player at first. Now the only thing that she's not an 8 at is she's dating that dork Kid Leroy. Who? What a stupid little wiener.
Who's that?
He's a rapper.
Heard of him.
Yeah, he was on like a Justin Bieber song a while ago.
Oh, he
he
looks like Justin Bieber.
Yeah, he was with Scooter Braun for a while.
Yeah, he's a little dork, a little wuss, but he's also 21, so it's age appropriate, I suppose. Jeers, speaking of Saturday Night Live, Jeers to that crowd. This is now the second year in a row that Shane Gillis has eaten it on the opening, doing his opening monologue. And for folks who don't know, yes, Shane was hired by SNL and fired before he even got on stage because of some old podcast clips that that smeared him. But he's now come back to host twice as a stand-up. And
a little rough.
And both times. And by the way, they do they have a rehearsal at 8 o'clock and a live show at 11:30. Mm-hmm. So it's not like he hasn't got out there and worked this. He's probably been doing this material on the road for the past year. But man, do they not like him?
It's not the crowd.
No, it's such a like puckered up, stick up their ass. Anything that he does because they know that too. I think they're pre-clenched for him, and he's been a stand-up for 15 years probably now. I'm sure he's bombed before. Everyone has. Mm-hmm. He doesn't know what to do with their energy. And it's just a weird, awkward back and forth that has not worked out now.
He goes, you think you like that one? Wait for this. And then he just keeps on going.
Yeah. But is he one of the guys who kind of revels in it, you know?
No. Well,
no?
I mean, yes, he can.
Because he knows what his material is, and he's got to know that, people at least publicly will do that groan.
Right.
Oh, they might even think it's funny, but
it's so awkward. I love it.
I get that sometimes in this room with people that I know are on the same page, but when the mics go on, I go, like, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe it's your delivery, but
maybe
there's a difference between reveling in it, like Norm Macdonald used to just revel in dying on stage.
Ruled at it.
Yeah.
This Shane
funny.
Shane Gillis is a little different. It's a little more awkward.
And you just go back and watch.
He's kind of a big guy, and I know what that whole crowd of theater losers is thinking at SNL. Is they're like, and that a lot of these sketches are about. He was the bully in high school. I'm sure this is the guy you shouldn't like.
Yeah.
So I think there's just a dynamic that they haven't figured out yet.
What about you, Sammy? Weekend cheers and jeers.
Well, like Greg, my weekend sucked, and it was very difficult to find a cheers, but I did. My cheers is to Bree Clark. She's a gymnast who goes to Clemson, and she's the first college athlete to ever successfully land the Biles one, which is a move that Simone Biles created, which is she did it on floor. It's a double layout with a twist at the end, with a half twist at the end, which makes it very difficult because it's a blind landing. So first college athlete to ever land that skill.
Nice.
Only 5 in the world, including Simone herself, have ever even landed that. So
I could do it.
Cheers to Bree Clark. My jeers is to bee stings. My dog got a bee sting on her walk on Saturday, and I was like a mile away from home when she got stung, and she wouldn't, walk or anything. I pick her up, I start rushing her home, then we have to stop. She starts vomiting. I'm trying to get her home as soon as I can. I get her home, she vomits again. And so that's like, going into shock and having a reaction. So I rushed her to the animal hospital. By the time we got there, she was like wheezing and having trouble breathing. I guess once they got her back in the room, she vomited again with a bunch of blood in it. Oh my God.
She's all swollen in the face?
No, she wasn't. No, she got stung on the paw. Like she stepped on a bee. It wasn't even really like she got stung.
That sucks.
So what happened was they were like, okay, we're kind of busy right now. She'll be ready in about an hour. We have to give her fluids and other stuff and whatever. Cool. I ended up being at the animal hospital for 4 hours because other animals kept getting rushed in that were like real emergencies and you could tell. So she kept getting put on the back burner, which kind of made me feel better because you're like, okay, she's not severe enough to be, a crazy emergency. But then I had to sit there and watch all these other animals come in like not great shape. And it just was not a fun week. And then I came home with all this medication for her that makes no sense together, whatever. So yeah, it's been fun. Because it's like, this one needs to be taken 3 times a day, every 8 hours. This one's twice a day, every 12 hours. And this one's once a day.
Wow.
And this one has to be taken on an empty stomach and with no other medications. And then this one has to be 30 minutes before she eats. And then this one needs to be mixed with her food. I swear to God, it's the worst.
Oh no.
They're selling us on dog.
And do you have the pet insurance?
No, but
because your dog is of a certain age,
and
right? So I'm assuming
in the doctor a lot.
I'm assuming this is when it started coming in handy, not for unexpected bee stings, but just in general, as people age, as animals age, they need more medical care. Yeah.
Yeah, but I had it for her for a 1 year period and I never used it. So I spent all that money and never had to use it. And even the amount that I ended up having to pay, if I had the health insurance for a full year for her, it still wouldn't have come out to how much I would have paid for insurance itself. So it doesn't cover as much as what I usually need it for, which is teeth cleanings and stuff like that. So no, I don't have it, but I still think it's cheaper for me to not have it because she is of a certain age, so it's expensive to have.
And Menace, the number one question when it comes to this kind of stuff, what health insurance for his dogs does Menace have?
It's called Healthy Paws, everybody.
Healthy Paws.
Healthy Paws.
Healthy Paws. There you go. Always get a lot of questions about that. All right, so we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, while you were away, Gina.
Yeah.
Seabass had a thought about you.
Oh, I'm sure it's super complimentary.
and we were curious to get your response
I
to
can't
it.
wait.
All right, that'll be coming up next. 877-44-WOODY. Send us a text over to 22987.
You know, The Woody Show.